The movie starts in the year 2044 in Kansas City. Right away, we meet a young man named Joe. He works as a looper. Now, this job is not normal. It's kind of strange and dangerous. In the future, time travel has been invented, but it's illegal. Only criminal gangs use it secretly. They send people they want to kill back in time, and loopers like Joe wait for them. When the person appears, Joe shoots them right away and disposes of the body. It's simple, clean, and there's no evidence in the future. Loopers get paid in silver bars that are strapped to the victim's back. Joe explains that he lives a rich but empty life. He parties, does drugs, and spends time with a dancer named Susie, but deep down, he feels alone. His boss is a guy called Abe. He was sent from the future to manage all the loopers and keep them under control. Abe gave Joe his job and treats him like a tool, but he also saved Joe from a rough past. Joe has a friend named Seth, who's also a looper. One night, Seth comes to Joe's place, very scared. He tells Joe that he let his target escape. The twist is, Seth's target was his own future self. This is called closing the loop. When a looper kills his older self, his job ends, and he gets a big payout in gold. Then he can live freely for 30 years until the gang catches up with him. But Seth couldn't do it. He recognized his older self and let him run. This is a big mistake. If you don't close the loop, you're in deep trouble. Abe's men come looking for Seth, and Joe is forced to give him up. Joe doesn't want to, but he has no choice. Later, we see what happens to Seth's older version. The gang captures the young Seth and starts hurting him. Every injury they give him shows up on the older Seth's body, even though he's from the future. It's really painful and sad. Slowly, the older Seth loses his fingers, his nose, and even parts of his legs. Finally, he's killed too. This shows how powerful and scary the gang is. Meanwhile, Joe keeps doing his job. One day, he goes to a cornfield, waiting for his next target, just like always. But something goes wrong. The man appears with no hood on his head, and Joe hesitates for just a second. That second is enough. The man is Joe's older self. Old Joe knocks him out and runs away. Young Joe is shocked and angry. He knows he messed up badly. Now the gang will come after him too. He goes back to the city, trying to stay hidden. While all this is happening, we learn more about old Joe. He comes from the future, the year 2074. In that time, things are very bad. There's a powerful man known as the Rainmaker. He's closing all loops and killing many people. Old Joe's life in the future was rough, but one day he found love. He met a kind woman who changed his life, but the Rainmaker's men came and killed her when they came to take old Joe. That's why old Joe is back in the past now. He wants revenge. He wants to stop the Rainmaker before he grows up. He found records of 3 possible kids who might become the Rainmaker. He plans to kill all 3, hoping to stop the right one. Young Joe, on the other hand, is trying to fix things. He knows the gang is after him, so he hides in the city. He tries to figure out what old Joe is doing. He writes down everything he remembers about him and waits. Meanwhile, old Joe is on a mission. He finds the first child and kills him. It's a heartbreaking scene. Old Joe doesn't want to hurt kids, but he feels it's the only way to save his future. Young Joe follows a clue and reaches a farm outside the city. A woman named Sarah lives there with her son, Sid. Sarah is tough and protective. She doesn't trust Joe at first, but she lets him stay because he looks lost and tired. Joe starts helping on the farm and slowly gets to know Sarah and Sid. Sid is a strange kid. He's very smart but also very intense. He has trouble controlling his emotions. When he gets scared or angry, strange things happen, objects shake or fly around. We find out that Sid has telekinetic powers. Many people in this time have mild TK abilities, like floating a coin, but Sid is different. His powers are much stronger. As Joe spends time with Sarah and Sid, he starts caring about them. He feels peace for the first time in a long while. He begins to think that maybe he can change his path. Meanwhile, old Joe finds the second child. But he pauses. He watches the boy for a while, unsure if he's doing the right thing. Then he sees young Joe's message on his arm, carved with a knife, telling him where to meet. This message was written by young Joe in the present, and it shows up on old Joe's skin in the future because they are the same person. Old Joe goes to the meeting place, but it's a trap. The gang is waiting for him. He fights them and escapes, but he's wounded. He's determined to find the last child, who he believes is the real Rainmaker. That child is Sid. Back at the farm, Sarah tells Joe more about her past. She used to be wild and didn't raise Sid at first. Her sister did. But after her sister died, Sarah came back to care for him. That's why Sid sometimes calls her by her name and not Mom. Joe realizes how much Sarah loves her son. He also starts to suspect that Sid might be the Rainmaker. One night, Sid gets angry when he falls down the stairs. His powers explode. The house shakes, and Sarah barely calms him down. Joe sees how dangerous Sid can be if he loses control. He starts to understand what old Joe is trying to stop, but he also feels sorry for the kid. He thinks maybe, with love and care, Sid can grow up to be kind, not evil. The next day, old Joe reaches the farm. He comes with a gun, ready to kill Sid. Sarah hides with her son, and Joe tries to stop old Joe. There's a big fight in the field. Sid gets scared and runs. His powers explode again, causing a huge blast that throws everyone back. Joe sees the truth. He sees how powerful and scared Sid is. He realizes that if old Joe kills Sarah, Sid will grow up angry, alone, and full of hate. That's what will turn him into the Rainmaker. Joe understands the only way to break the loop is to stop old Joe from killing Sarah. But he knows old Joe won't stop. So Joe does something shocking. He takes his own gun and turns it on himself. He pulls the trigger and dies instantly. Since old Joe is just a future version of him, old Joe disappears too. The threat is gone. The final scenes are calm. Sarah hugs Sid tightly, telling him everything will be okay. Joe's voice in the background says he saw a moment in the future. A moment where Sid would turn dark if he lost his mother. Joe chose to end the cycle before that happened. He gave Sid a chance to grow up with love, not hate. The story ends with hope. Maybe, just maybe, Sid will grow up to be someone better. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And for more awesome movie recaps, make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.